How to get the latest version of Autopilot, FSD, or whatever you might want on your Tesla, some real hacks and some hacks debunked. Let's get into it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Not a Tesla app put this out this week, and while it's pretty straightforward for a lot of us, maybe not all of us. By the way, I should say, kindness is always free. That's not a sponsored thing, but there is a link in the description to the Highlander's Etsy store. He didn't pay me to do that, and he didn't have to. You know why? Because kindness is always free. So shout out to the Highlander. I'm wearing your shirt, my friend. So we've got this interesting information here. How do you get the latest, greatest version of FSD or any of the software, really? Well, when you go into your car, into your settings, you pull up the home screen and you click on software, and by default it will say standard. You move that over to advanced. That's it. That's what you do. And this should give you the latest betas that are available. Now, you're not going to get every beta. Some whole versions will skip you. And I don't know what the actual procedure is, how they actually decide who gets what. There is a rumor that if you DM Dirty Tesla, you will get on the list. But that's not true. It's just something a bearded Tesla guy came up with to harass him. And apparently it works. So don't tell him I sent you. Tell him bearded Tesla guy sent you. And he'll lose his mind. Please don't. So what are we talking about? One hack that I had heard that could make it all work, could make it all get the newest version, is unsubscribe from FSD and resubscribe. I even saw people saying, oh, it worked for me. When I got back from Monterrey, Mexico, as you know, I went down there to scope out the site for Giga Mexico, where it will be built, see the on-ramp and overpass progress, drive some Chinese cars, at least check them out. When I came, what I did is about 5 days into my journey, my subscription was due. So I canceled. And then when I got back to the airport, I'm in the shuttle on the way to my car, I subscribed again. Did that work? No, I get in the car and I still had 11.36, I think. Or 12.36. Yes, 12.36 is what I had. And it didn't work. Within the week, though, I did get the update. And as you know, I found it quite good. But all of the 12 dot branches have worked reasonably well for me where I live, apart from the fact that it can't read a no write on red sign. That's problematic. So yeah, you'll go to here. You've got in the software tab, there's an option for you to choose how often. Advanced. Advanced is what you want. You're supposed to pick whether you want the stable build or the latest build. The latest one, you might find regressions in FSD's performance, FSD supervised, that is, and you just need to be aware of that. When it's good, when it's final, when it's stable, they'll push out the newer ones. This button has long been thought of to be useless. A lot of people said this button does not work. It does not do anything. It's decorative. And that it's maybe a vestigial feature from the early access programs back in 2018. But a recent post, Elon confirmed that it is still using to decide who gets early access. And again, still some issues. We're pushing it out to those who have requested advanced releases. Of course. Why would I not think it would do that? So yeah, version 12.5.3 is probably suitable for wide release. This is now a bit out of date, but that's the part that confirmed what we knew. So this means you could also see other things early. Updates to the infotainment, updates to other features. When it comes to something critical like a big, bad, scary recall that NHTSA requires them to be called, it is not dependent on that. You will get that update either way. Now, what's worth noting is that a quick note on NHTSA. So before determining whether they are going to order a manufacturer to perform a recall, what they'll do is determine the impact of it. How bad is it? If the icons had been too small in a car without over-the-air update, they would not have issued it because it is not critical in any way. And it would cost a fortune. They'd have to engineer new lights. They'd have to have them manufactured and shipped to all service locations. And then they'd have to get everyone in to get them. And each repair would cost $100, $200 in labor. That's prohibitive. They would just say, look, on the next one, do it differently. But wait, Tesla can just update it and press a button, right? That means we're going to require them to do that, which is a little crazy. I think maybe a different name for something when it's A, over the air, and B, something that you would not fix on another car. Maybe that should have a different name. Another misunderstanding about recalls is that everyone gets them all the time. Just this week, was it Ford? Here it is. Cadillac recalled over 20,000 Lyrics because the brakes might malfunction. Now, the good news is, or I guess it's not, maybe it's not good news, Cadillac's getting equal treatment, even though this is an over-the-air software update. Let me show it to you here. Yeah, Cadillac Lyric 20,000 recalled because the brakes might malfunction. Over-the-air software update. So they're not being unfair in their coverage, but it's also inside EVs, which I have found to be reasonably good. In these conditions, if ABS falsely activates, it could be a problem. Yeah, it could. So it's a little weird in that regard. I think we won't see a change in NHTSA's terminology until such time as enough manufacturers are doing over-the-air updates that enough of them complain with enough weight behind them to say, these are not recalls. These are patches. You know, how many times has your iPhone or Android been recalled? How many times has Windows been recalled? Somewhere between never and all the time, depending on your definition of the word. So yeah, NHTSA, the other crazy thing they have going for them, and this is a weird one, is that they will, if a recall can be done in a certain amount of time, it must be done. If a recall can be performed immediately, it must be performed immediately. So that means every over-the-air update is something that must be done. So the recalls would look a lot higher than they would for another car. It's very weird. So let's see. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am going to be at the Florida Cyber Fest, September 21st. Come on out and join us. I'm also going to be oh, look at that. They got the fat guy on there. That's pretty cool. Also, I'm going to be in Las Vegas on October 26th for the Big Light Show hosted by the Owners Club there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And while it might be a smaller event, tough to say, a lot of West Coast people I know are going to be making the trek to join. It's going to be a lot of really great people. It's going to be some real diehards. I'll be there. Tesla AI Girl might be there, I think, and some others. So Simon will be there from the Tesla Light Shows, of course, the xlightshows.io, and Will from Tesla Jigsaw will be flying across the pond to join us. So that's all very cool and very exciting. Join us, won't you? I did want to say a huge thanks to my patrons, my channel members, my subscribers, who make this possible, because when the stock is down, views are down. And when the stock is up, views are up. So July was my best month ever. And August is set to be my worst in 10 or 11 months. It's really, really going not very well because there's just not much interest in the community. So what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it all into them comments below and stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.